Are we live or are we live? Welcome back to another video this week. I'm your girl Shia.marie. I'm 23 and we're gonna be a little inspiring today. The title of this video is not clickbait by any means. It's actually something that's very real. However, it's not news. It's nothing that just happened, but there's something that happened like the other day, and I just thought about something that is so prevalent within me that I think other people will relate and have some like motivation and just inspiration from. If I can share something that is really fundamental in my life and shaped me to who I am, I feel like it can also help you. I've never told anybody this, and so I'm gonna share with you guys because I'm trying to build a community and like a relationship with you guys. And these are some important things to talk about. So in overview, what I'm going to address is that when life doesn't go your way and doesn't happen exactly as you expect, you can still pick up and become something, achieve new things, aspire, chase your dreams, and not feel guilty and be proud of where you've come from. I think a lot of people allow their past to shape them, but you can really learn something from your past and create a beautiful future. So today I'm going to use my story to talk about defeat, talk about what it's like to have a future goal ripped from you, how to move forward and still chase your dreams. Also, I'm drinking tea right now, so if you don't have a bev, get something. But it's so fitting that the little message on the back of the thing says, live by your inner knowledge and strength. And that's really fitting for today. So by now, if you follow me on here or on TikTok, you know that I'm a corporate girly working in law. I have a whole 9 to 5, but I'm also juggling, chasing my dreams. I'm a content creator, micro influencer, whatever you want to call it. I'm chasing some of my dreams that I've always had. I haven't been this confident in a really long time, and that was something that I had to learn for sure. Before all of this life that I'm currently living right now, I was a 7-year-old whose life literally drastically changed overnight. Literally, like police rounding my sister and I up from our backyard and taking us to the police station to go start a whole new life with my relatives in a whole different state. I've never told the full family story on this page, but in a nutshell, my 4 siblings and I were court ordered to live with my relatives who already had their own 3 children. Due to unhealthy circumstances in my childhood home, it was no longer good conditions to raise children. So yes, we were court ordered to live with my relatives. And I'm very fortunate because we were able to escape the idea of 5 separate foster care homes in the event that my relatives couldn't take us in. So for that, I'm so grateful because I can't imagine my life without my siblings. Before I moved in with my relatives, I did grow up in a home of domestic violence. And my mom did leave at a very young age, left me at a young age. Like my other siblings at least knew who she was, had conversations with her, remembered her face. I don't even recall a single conversation because I think when she left, I had to have been like 5 or 6. I was so young that I don't even have an image of her face from memory. All of this is to say, while living with my relatives from like 2007 to like 2020, during all that time, I never spoke with my real mother. I never met her, never got to see her, no Zoom, no phone call. Actually, I was like not allowed for some reason, and I never understood like why you would keep like a biological mother from speaking to her children. I don't know if that was like to try to protect me, but like I have no idea. And I look back at it now, growing up, I knew that some of the members in my family like had my mother's phone number and were in contact with her, and yet never allowed me to even just hear her voice. All I ever wanted to do was just hear her say my name, to know that she thought about me and just still cared, or like, you know what I mean? Like just the idea of just hearing your biological parent speak out to you. Of course, I had loving parents like my aunt and my uncle who raised me, but there's just always a craving for your biological parent love. And if you get it, you get it. Like, it doesn't make you any like less grateful for like your life, but you'll always yearn for that specific like love that you just never had. I gave all that background because what I'm going to tell you next is what shapes me to who I am today. So I remember I made like a goal for myself, like a life goal, that when I turned 18, I would go seek my mother. I would go search for her, locate her, and start a relationship and just really begin to learn who I am and where I came from. Honestly, wanted to introduce myself to my mother, because I think out of all of us, out of all of the kids, like, I am the main one that didn't get anything from her. Like, I don't know her voice, I don't know her face, like I said. I set a goal that, like, after I met my mother, everything in my life would fall into would fall perfectly into place. Like, I would be who I was meant to be. Sorry, we are not gonna get emotional during this video. I'm gonna stay calm and collected. I'm not trying to hide from, like, feelings or anything. Like, I've felt these emotions already. Like, I've let them pass. So, like, I'm definitely not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to suffocate these feelings. I just want to get through this video, though. Back on track. I just had this one goal to have my mother in my life, make up for lost time, and then everything else, like, I would be able to, like, move on finally. It almost was like only then could I really know who I was and be happy with myself. You know, I needed to meet her and reintroduce myself in order to move on with my life. And if I didn't, I would just feel so incomplete and defeated. But, you know, unfortunately, none of this was going to happen because summer of 2017, we got a message that she had passed away. So I definitely wasn't going to be able to achieve this future goal once I hit 18 at that time. Today, now I'm 23, so several years have passed. I can't even describe the denial I was in for the longest time. And honestly, I think about it, it truly was like a hidden despair, a hidden grief, because I honestly felt like the people around me only allotted a specific time for me to grieve, and that is so wrong. There seriously is no time frame for grief and healing. You can't put a time on that. I just think how many times this has happened to other people where, like, something tragic happened to them, life altering, and people around them, like friends or family, just expect them to go back to normal after like 2 weeks after the funeral. It does not work like that. Grief can last for years. Denial can last for years. It was a really hard time for me, and I honestly felt like nobody knew how hard it was for me because I really felt like I had to keep it to myself. I'm sidetracking. After 2017, when she passed away, I was utterly confused, to say the least. My entire life goal was then thrown off, and I had no clue how I was going to move forward. Kind of like the end of the world for me internally and just like emotionally, because I was like, oh wow, I'm never gonna know who I am, or just like where I come from truly. How was I supposed to know who I am completely without the woman that brought me into this world in the first place? It was astronomical. I felt like I couldn't genuinely and like unguiltily, if that's a word, unguiltily? Well, let's add it to the dictionary now. I felt like I couldn't really be myself and chase my dreams authentically because now everything is out of order and it will never be in order because like it now is not possible. It's really a question to myself, like, how am I supposed to accomplish anything and really chase my dreams when the only thing I was really looking forward to was meeting and knowing my mom? But honestly, this is where the inspiration is gonna come, I promise. After this tragedy, that I was forced to realize that just how short and unexpected life is. And I had to find the love that I knew she probably had for me, but within myself. And through the stories that my grandmother had to tell me. You know, unfortunately, unlike my mother, who was dealt a really bad card of hands, which so many of us are, she still took steps to try to make life better. She wanted her kids to like leave the bad situation they were in and go live with my relatives. That's why my relatives got the guardianship to take us in and gave us a better life. Probably would have thanked her, because if it wasn't for that decision, my life back down with my biological father when I was younger was not good. Now that I'm like older, I lived with my aunt, my uncle. They got me through elementary, middle school, high school, and now I moved out. I'm in my own apartment. I'm chasing my dreams. I've thanked my mom internally, and that is what's allowed me to move forward unguiltily, using my word, to go and chase all my other life goals that were supposed to happen after her. I honestly was not gonna make a video this week just because I was feeling so discouraged, but sometimes you really have to applaud yourself and appreciate your path especially things that haven't happened for you. There's a reason. Certain things that aren't happening are just not good timing, and you need to learn and grow a little bit more. But also everything that I've achieved is because of the hard work and dedication that I put in. It's also never too late to go chase your dreams. Like, I'm going back to college. I'm 23. It's kind of daunting to think that like I'm starting something so late according to like the norms. Don't know how people expect you to know what to do right after high school. That's insane. They want people to know what they want to do for their entire life when they're like 17. Hey, some people know what they want to do, but for me, it took some time. I have a bucket list for myself, and I've accomplished so much that I never really thought I would, especially like at a young age. And it feels so good to do these things for myself and be the independent woman that I am, even while being in a relationship. Because of my relationship, I do want to add, like, he's motivating me to do even more things and supporting me, and like my sisters and my siblings, even though I didn't get to meet my mom. And that tragic loss hindered me for a while. I do feel like no matter how dark the tunnel got, however cliche this sounds, I was still able to find the light at the end and bring myself out of the despair that I was in, and continue to motivate myself to keep setting more goals and keep moving forward, and, you know, be the best version of myself that it can be. No matter how bad my past is, you're still meant for so many great things. I know this video was more emotional than I expected, and I honestly haven't talked about my mom in such a long time because like nobody asks, obviously. No one's gonna be like, hey, so your mother, like no one's gonna just bring that up. It's such a profound time to talk about it, just because like how low I was feeling today. I was like, wait, there is a lesson in this, and this is the lesson. Never let your past define who you are now and who you're going to be in the future. I'm always looking for ways to better myself. I think there's just certain things that happen in life that can throw you off your plan. It can really throw you off the path you were trying to go on. And there's so many lessons in life. Live through them, feel them, and find a way to keep moving forward, because so many great things are meant for you and I, and we will never get to achieve them if we stay stuck in the past. There's so much life for you to still see. No matter how dark it might seem right now, you will become better. You will learn to love life again. So I hope this video was a little bit of a motivation. I know it was kind of sad, but I just found so much inspiration from my own story. Like whenever I look back at my life, I'm like, how the heck did I get through that? But somehow I had people around me keeping me grounded and pushing me forward. But also finding myself, believing in myself. Take your time, be patient with yourself, but move forward. So yeah, I asked myself, my mom's dead. What now? Well, many great things are ahead, and I'm doing just fine. I've learned to love life again, and I'm definitely proud of who I am today. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It helps me a lot. It lets me know that you want me here and you want me to continue making videos, and I hope you enjoy them. And with that, I don't know where you are, but I hope you have a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good night. And until next time, which is literally next week. See you then. Bye.